Indian stockbroking industry has gone through a transformation over the last decade. From a few traditional brokerages ruling the industry to new age discount firms now topping the charts, the industry has indeed come a very long way. We now have 10 crore demat accounts and counting. The broking industry has seen its best time so far, and that sets the tone for today's discussion. What is the future of stockbroking industry in India? So, Praveen, let's start with you. Discount broking has largely been a volume game, while traditional broking firms typically bank on high-value clients and transactions. Is there a middle path somewhere where some kind of advisory can be provided to a lesser informed investor?
So let me just put it the other way now. Okay, I think we are amongst a panel, and we are the latest or probably the last entrant in this industry. Okay, and I have Krishna Kalyan over here. I think he has been around for last 25 around years. Okay, same thing with Prakash. Same thing with Kotak. Okay, I think we looked up to these companies, and now we are trying to compete with them. What transition we have seen for this business? Okay, I think everyone understands that probably BSE was the oldest exchange in Asia. Okay, started in 1875. Calcutta exchange was much before that. So it's a very old business. The transition has happened from traditional players to bank-based brokers, okay, to technology-led brokers, okay, where Espresso, 5 Paisa, all of us are competing. What point we miss out is, discount broking as a concept started around 10 years back. It's already a decade-old concept now. And honestly, I think if you look at pricing, I think industry has realized that all of us have come to a standard pricing, which is almost captured by 99% of the market now. So it doesn't matter if you're traditional, it doesn't matter if you're a bank-based broker, if you're a discount broker, or if you're a technology-led broker. That is what we are trying to do. I think price has become commodity in this market. And the kind of margin benefits that brokers used to have, I'm sure some of you must have investing trading for a very, very long time, or you probably know someone. There was time when you had ₹1,00,000. With ₹1,00,000, a broker X would ask you, hey, let me give you a leverage of 10 lakhs. You can do 10x more trading. The second broker would come, hey, he's giving you 10x, I'm happy to give you 25x. Okay. So I think all of us have gone through that journey. What we believe at Dhan especially is that the next wave of differentiation is going to be a lot based on product, technology, and customer experiences and also. That's what is our thought process, but like I said, okay, we are the latest, we are the last one, and there is a panel of experts who have been around for a very, very long time. I mean, Ashish and all of us were just chatting around, okay, and we briefly touched about how the industry is evolving. So I'm sure they will have more valuable points to add.
Sure. So, Kalyan, like Praveen mentioned, you've been in the industry for the longest out here. So, same question to you. I mean, do you think, less informed investors, is there a middle path somewhere that we can adopt?
Okay, hi everyone. First and foremost, there is absolutely zero value to somebody who's been in the broking industry for 25 years. Because you tend to learn about capital markets every bloody day. It's like asking me, recommend a stock which I can buy low and sell high. I can still not do it despite all the accolades that my friend Praveen just gave that I'm 25-year-old in the system. It doesn't work. That's point number one. Point number two is this whole concept of discount versus full service versus bank is more fraternity driven. For the end customer, I mean, I'll do a little bit of Hindi and English, it's okay, right? Yeah? बहुत English में बात किया तो अभी भी British का याद आ रहा है इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ. सही है ना यार? Thank you. It's very broker driven. Investor को फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Trust me. What the investor wants is a very stable platform, a self-intuitive platform, and a little bit of hand-holding. And since I've had the luxury of looking at Sher Khan in the initial days and now, so I'm lucky in that way that I've been a part of 2 startups, which in itself is a big opportunity. But the only difference I see between both sets of customers now is that if I may use the word discount broker, the discount broker customer is more do-it-yourself. He or she actually loathes the idea of a human intervention. He says, मेरे को phone मत करो यार. I'll figure my way out. but let the product speak for itself. Let the experience speak for itself. So that, and the biggest thing that I'm seeing, that if I can involve my customer in creating a product, that in itself is going to be a change in the way the direction of the broking industry goes. So that's been my view on how we have seen the metamorphosis of the industry. Yeah.
Sure, thanks. Coming to you, Ashish, we are now at 10 crore, coming to you, Prakash, we now have 10 crore Demat accounts, and, post-lockdown, we are seeing that while F&O trading volumes are pretty high, the delivery volumes seem to be stagnating. How do you as a brokerage ensure that, investors are here to stay and use the direct equity route as well?
Very good question, because in last 2.5 years, our Demat accounts in the country has doubled, more than doubled. I mean, it's a historic feat. What we could not achieve for last 20, 25 years, we achieved in just 2 years. And more of a testimony of the technology and everything which has changed. But what has happened is that if you look at the delivery volume or the cash volume on the exchange side, it is more or less the same. On the contrary, it has gone down. Yeah. There are various factors. I mean, obviously, because all the regulatory changes that we have seen has actually taken the trading volumes from cash market to derivative. And that's where you see almost 3x, 4x kind of a growth in derivative turnover. Having said that, on the cash market, more than looking at people who have opened Demat accounts, it is important that how many people are actually comfortable with investing in equity directly. Vis-a-vis, if you see on mutual fund, there is a huge growth. Every month on month, there is an SIP growth, irrespective of whether markets are doing good or bad. But direct equity is very related to how market is today and how the perception about the stock market is today. So till the time direct equity gives returns, and the end consumer is smart enough to invest directly, the volumes and the participation will continue. I think it's more of a growth in terms of maturity from a customer standpoint. For now, what we are seeing is people have just come in. A lot of people have just tasted the success of returns that capital market gives, mostly from a mutual fund and also from direct equity. Now, as and when they start making more money, the surplus income increases, that's how you will see more and more participation coming into cash market perspective. As far as derivative is concerned, it's anyways flourishing.
Great. Ashish, similar question to you. Do you think that eventually, like we discussed, that SIPs are increasing, mutual fund AUMs are rising steadily, and do you think eventually investors will prefer mutual funds for the investment route, and direct equities will more so be a trading option for retail traders?
My take on this will be slightly different. Sure. Mutual fund industry over the last 3, 4, 5 years, I think have proved to the customer that SIP is the right way to invest into the market. They, I think, started working on this SIP about 6, 7, 8 years back. Initially, there was some apprehension that market niche gira, will we be able to sustain our SIPs or not. But I think over a period of last 7, 8 years, and we all know equity is a asset class which takes time to grow, they have proven itself that SIP is the right way. And I think the amount of money which comes into mutual funds every month itself is a testament to say that mutual funds now have become a mainstay of most of the investors, and number of investors invested into mutual fund is nowhere, broking is nowhere close to that number. That number is a crazy number. The issue is that we have to now make sure that these customers also upgrade themselves into kind of direct equity. Being from broking, I think the right way of investing into this product is what is upon the brokers to educate, guide the customer on this is how you do it. I think that is where the bigger thing lies. In our view, I think the 3 E's are very important. One is education, and by education, I'm not just saying there's a lot of data available on the net. You just search a word and Google, and it is about guiding the customer. Second is experience. You have to give him the right experience. And third one is excellence. The one who will create an interface which will have excellence will, I think, continue to take a lion's market share in this market.
Thanks. Kalyan, coming to you, like we said, it's been one of the best times for the broking industry. But now the growth rate in terms of new clients is obviously, coming down. And of course, markets are right now at record high. But once the market reverses its trajectory, this growth rate may even fall further. What are you as a broking firm, what do you think could be the steps taken by the broking industry to ensure that new investors keep coming to the market?
See, this market being at a robust best right now and falling off the cliff is not something that is a recent phenomenon. That's something that all of us have seen for the last 20, 25 years. In fact, to whatever little experience I've had, out of 2 decades, maybe 1.5 decades would have been bad. And 5 years would have been okay or good. So market forces will play. There are too many big people playing. In fact, initially you had the FIIs ruling the roast. Today, thankfully, there are too many domestic investors. So obviously they are having a bigger say, and that's probably the reason why markets abhi bhi tika hua hai. नहीं तो कभी का seeing FIIs taking money off, बहुत लोगों के निकल जाते थे. But वो नहीं है. But the moot point is, if you are at it, as Ashish rightly said, you need to ensure that your product experience continues to be good. It's a very low margin business. Don't get carried away by all the jackets that our friends in the panel are wearing. Trust me, it's a very low margin business. So the most important thing here is that you need to get your product right. Keep at it. There could be good markets, there could be bad markets, there could be terrible markets. You can't get away with that. But so long as you can get your product strategy right, and most importantly, in the product strategy, have a big say from the customer. So typically, the way brokers have done is that they would create a product and say, hey, this is the product, consume. That's not going to be the case anymore. I am going to be able to get my traders to have a say in what I create. So long as I'm able to do that consistently, I may fall off, as companies do make mistakes. So there could be differences between the expectation of the customer and what the broker delivers. वो रहेगा, it will always remain. But so long as the intent to create a nice product experience is there, so long as the customer is willfully being made a partner to growth, I think over the next, just look at the figures. You are at 10 crores and you have 140 crore people. And this was the story that we were talking about even in 2000, where you had about 10 lakh of investors.
That's a valid input. Listen to your customer and build your product. Prakash, to you, do you think eventually as the markets settle down, do you think eventually over the next few years, will we see more consolidation in the stockbroking space?
See, if you bring back to your first question, what you asked Praveen and Kalyan, see, in broking now you have discount, you have full service, you have bank. At the end of the day, what matters is what value do you bring to the table for a customer. For a discount broking, so-called all of us discount broking, it's more of technology-driven platform. So it's completely a non-human intervention kind of a platform. That's the reason cost has to be less and the product experience has to be good. So that's the value addition. As far as bank-backed brokers are concerned, obviously there is a large association of a customer with the bank, and that is obviously is going to be staying, so that part of the business is not going away. So that's a value that they bring, which is the banking infrastructure along with that. Then you also have a section of people who typically need advice or need a handholding, not to understand. But once you cross a threshold of investment, maybe a 25 lakh or a 50 lakh, then you have a need to ask a relationship manager in terms of the kind of products that you have to invest into. So if you bring in terms of the value addition, all the businesses are here to stay. Now coming to the point of consolidation, obviously earlier you used to have 100, 200, 500 brokers in the country because broadly they were divided by geography. So there were brokers who were very dominant in South, who were not present in West. People who were in West were not dominant in the North and South of the area. But digital has taken that away. So that barrier has broken, and definitely that will lead to some kind of consolidation that will happen, and it is actually happening. If you look at today almost 75 to 80% of the demat accounts is opened by just 5 or 6 players. So there is a consolidation. The point is that whether the consolidation is in terms of the demat accounts that you're acquiring, or you are a player who says that I don't want to look at maybe 1 million customer, 2 million customer, 5 million customer, but even if I have 1 lakh customer, 500,000 customers, their value in terms of the revenue. So if revenue is good, no broker will be fine. And you will see a lot of players coming with their niche offering. When e-commerce started, we thought that Amazon and Flipkart will be the ones who will be ruling and everyone else will go out of business. But now you have those niche players who have the, their say in the sun in terms of business. And same will happen for broking. So on a larger, from maybe 500,000 brokers, there will be consolidation. But in each segment, there will be players who will bring value to the customer and they will prevail.
Right. Thank you. Praveen, my next question is to you. There has been an exponential rise in the number of traders. Once the lockdown kicked in, I think markets were booming and everyone was just into trading. Some understood it, some didn't. And I think studies show that only a fraction of these traders are able to beat FD returns. And some newbies have also incurred a lot of losses. So as a broking firm, where and how do you draw a line, and how can technology help curb certain mishaps in that sense?
That's an interesting question, but let me just come back to, I am still trying to find where is this study which says that only few or 1% traders make
I agree.
A fraction,
okay? It's a hearsay. Okay, I don't think anyone has really figured out, okay, how many number of traders actually really make money. Okay, that's number one. But again, the fact that all of us don't see is that 100% of people who put money in fixed deposits, okay, they don't beat inflation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So at least you're taking chances when you're doing investing and trading. The other part is, most of the folks, when they come to the markets for the first time, and I'm sure some of you would be here and would probably recollect, the first time you saw a stock which is going live, or the first time you see a candlestick on a chart, okay, you thought it's so easy. Okay, I just have to go, okay, and buy it over here and sell it over here, or sell it over here and buy it over here, right? Okay, so most of the investors, okay, at least whom we end up talking to and have little heart-to-heart conversations, we realize, hey, no, investors are failed traders. Okay, they've gone through the journey of trying to trade. Okay, then realize hey, it's not an easy thing. Okay, so I think a lot of investors also know, and a lot of traders also know that trading is tough. As a broking platform now with tech, okay, I think a lot of us, okay, have a lot of data on a daily basis. As a matter of metric, we do measure on an everyday basis how many traders are profitable and how many traders are making losses. And we have seen our peak profitable traders, okay, on days have been up to 65%. And the peak, the lowest of profitable trades, okay, on any given day has been 35%. And I'm talking about expiry days, which I think all of us would know are super volatile days to have, okay. So first, we just want to make sure as an industry we communicate things right, because when we get perceived as an industry where only 1% people are able to make money, it's factually incorrect statement. And if there's a study, happy to make sure, okay, it's at least someone shows us what that study is.
No, I meant a fraction, not 1%. But
so I'm just saying the general conversation that goes in the industry. Yeah, so nothing to you. How can technology help you save, okay, or save losses? So I think everyone goes through a journey of trading and realize trading is more of a skill set, okay, and not a gambling part, okay, which again it's get perceived too. But what we do on our platform is, we have created a lot of controls on our platform where we alert users when things are going against them. Okay, we recently introduced things like trader controls when we tell people that you're over trading. We tell people that, hey, you have set your daily loss to, like, I'm trading today. I don't want to lose more than $1,000. I can go and set those things out there. And we have seen consistently that people are consuming these tools, okay? It's about creating a discipline. And in fact, we were looking at these numbers just 2-3 days back, okay? We realized almost 47% traders who are there on our platform, okay? They use at least one trading control, okay, when they go and take a position in the market and all. So again, this is a journey for us, okay? We are very new to the industry, very new to the market. We're trying to understand what customers want, okay? But the best way traders can actually, okay, be profitable is do the first step, okay, which is minimize money in the market, minimize your own risk yourself.
Sure, sure. Ashish, coming to you, the same question: how can technology, help draw a line here, wherein newbie traders don't just, in quotes, gamble and lose?
See, I mean, ultimately we have to realize that options or futures, whatever this case may be, I think with traders we relate these two terms more than trading in equity. It's a zero-sum game. For anyone who makes money, there is someone else who's losing money.
Absolutely.
And having said that, you've got players who are doing high-frequency algo trading. There are players, prop traders who are trading in the market. And again, I will also differentiate between smart traders and probably people who are just entering. There is definitely a reason for us to probably educate. I will not say that you should not do options and futures and not do trading. There are people who have made trading their livelihood, and I think they're doing really well in that. The only thing is that there are a lot of noise today on social media about people making lots and lots of money, and that probably entices the novice investor who sees these profits and losses and he says, okay, this is the area that I have to move to, there's a lot of money here, and everybody comes into equity ultimately for making money. So when you see a lot of traders making money, you get a false sense of confidence that ye bana raha hai to main bhi bana sakta hu. And that is how you jump in. The thing has to be, as Praveen just mentioned, technology has to come to control. So if he's taking a trade and you know that is a very risky trade, a nudge has to go to the customer also telling him, if you also add this leg to your trade will become far less riskier. And as he just said, I think a switch is a switch which most of the brokers have and we haven't yet implemented, and the way of implementing it is called the kill switch. Aaj ka ho gaya. Aaj maine itna khona tha, aaj kho diya, aaj ka din over. Tomorrow we'll come with a fresh thought and I will start trading all over again. So I'm saying brokers have still a lot of ground to cover, and I think, as I again said, a three different T's: educate, explain, and also enable. So I'm saying three things we'll have to work on over a period of time to get this right. Thank you.
Perfect.
I mean, I can just add,
please,
okay.
please.
I think all problems, okay, don't require a tech solution, okay. And we have just implemented one of a very small solution, which is on our application, you can go and set your trade buddy, okay, which is someone you look up to or someone who's a mentor. And obviously, a lot of people have also gone and put up their spouses or husbands or wives' number, right? What we do is, whenever you trade, okay, after the market shut at 4:30, a snapshot of how you trade is sent to your wife or your mentor or anyone that you think, right? It helps you stay in control, okay? There's someone else who's keeping a check in terms of, are you losing money on a daily basis and all, okay? So not all answers do require technology. There are something could be a simple communication and all.
Well, that's great. Prakash, coming to you, we are now moving to a T+1 settlement. How far are we from same-day settlement?
I think T+1 is yet not implemented, so I think that's the first thing that we have to achieve. But there are a lot of changes which are already underway. SEBI is initiating a block-unblock, just like an ASBA feature for a real-time payment settlement. I think that's something that will help ease the settlement part of it. I think the point is that why do you need a T-day settlement and why do you need a T+1 settlement? Obviously, if you change the technology and go on a blockchain which the entire crypto was based on, then there was a real-time settlement. You don't have to wait for. It's a 24-hour exchange and everything is settled on the fly. So if you change the technology, then I'm sure, obviously, that can be achieved if you adopt blockchain. But if you are doing a continuous improvement on the existing infrastructure, I think then T+1 is a good feat to achieve. Now most of the things for a customer is settled on maximum T day. It's only the funds which typically takes 48 hours as of now, which will go to 24 hours, and with ASBA coming in, it will only move out of your account when actual trade happens. So with that, I don't see a far great value addition in bringing from T+1 to T+0, but T+1 is anyways happening. So I think that's good for consumers anyways.
Coming to the last question from my end, this is to all the panelists. What will be the next big thing for the broking industry? What is it that could be a game changer? Praveen, let's start with you.
I think from our perspective, okay, if you just look at payments, okay, which is just a simple example of everyone, okay, the way payments happen in India, okay, don't happen in any other country today, okay. We are so used to seeing QR codes across, okay. I mean, you can make a payment as much as 1 rupee or that, okay. That has not happened in any other country. Similarly, if you look at trading, okay, trading systems and all, okay, like Prakash just mentioned, okay, it is the underlying infrastructure, okay, which is limiting us at this point of time. But the fact is that, okay, some of the trading systems that are happening in other nations or in crypto and all, I'm not saying trade crypto, by the way, okay, but the capabilities of some of these products, okay, are still not there, okay. So from a consumer perspective, in terms of what does the customer want, okay, what kind of trading products they require, are very different. And even traders, okay, traders don't have one persona, okay. Like you must have seen traders probably use thousands of indicators, okay, and they find a comfort in the indicator, okay, or a study in which they make money, okay. So traders have this multiple personas, traders have this multiple thought process, and you have to literally build for everyone, okay. So if you're building for investing use case, is much simpler, but if you're building for trading use cases, a lot of people also don't appreciate the kind of technology systems are there, okay, in exchange, settlement, clearing, payment, and do some of these massive things at this point of time, and the number of regulations which are changing. So at some point of time, I think all of us in industry joke, hey, are we supposed to do solutions for technology, for customers, or are we supposed to just keep on complying, okay, with the changes that are happening in regulatory circles? Yeah, but our own outlook toward things is that, okay, it will be more API driven, it will be more technology driven, okay. A lot of people will end up becoming systematic traders, okay, or algo traders, and we are seeing a new wave. In fact, we are more of an API company and less of a stockbroking company. We have an API for everything, and we do almost 100+ signups on a daily basis from individual retail programmers, okay, who probably are working as techies in startups, okay, but want to try hands in a way that they want. So I think it's more of a discovery for everyone what's going to happen, okay, from a product tech perspective. But obviously, the way adoption is there in India for equity markets or even traders, okay, that's going to significantly be much more than what it's today.
Kalyan, your thoughts?
In fact, a couple of things, just taking a cue from what Ashish said. I think two things. One, generally brokers and investors and traders talk about making money, but I guess there is one word of caution for all those people who are got exposed to equities. It's also about the willingness to lose an X amount of money and being comfortable with it. So that's very, very critical, whether you choose the trading path or the investment part, doesn't matter. The amount of money that I'm willing to lose and still have a sound sleep at night is the threshold that one needs to keep in mind when one is putting in money. That's point number one. Point number two, apart from the tech changes that Praveen spoke about, I think compliance environment is going to be extremely tougher, for want of use of better word. And I think, in a way, it's the investor activism is really growing. So obviously, companies which can keep pace with the compliance environment will be the guys who will survive. And the third important wave that I'm seeing is, as I said, customers will have a lot more say in the way the product gets created. So it's up to us to actually show the customers ways and means of making consistent money for a longer period of time. And obviously, technology will play a part. You will have to have trader mentors who will be able to show it to you in a matter that they understand it best. But I think it's important that the cat is out of the bag. And as Ashish said, you are here to make money. You better show them how to make money. Yeah.
Prakash, your thoughts?
See, one, as far as disruption is concerned, and the next thing, I mean, we are a highly regulated industry. And typically disruptions or technology innovations normally don't happen when you are so highly regulated. And that's just a start, because every passing day we are getting more regulated. Now for an industry to grow, you need not be disrupting or innovating. Sometimes, if in a normal continuum basis also you can grow. Technology is always a forefront now, and now with more and more tech-based players are concerned, I think that has become more business rather than an enabler. So technology, as and when overall technology disrupts, that will have a spillover effect on broking, like what UPI had or what Aadhar did and all that. So that was not the disruption done by the broking, but it was on the overall, as a country as a whole. So if there is some disruption happening there, obviously it will have a spillover here. But apart from that, I think what it will require over a period of time is, as and when the per capita income of your country grows, you need those financial solutions to your problems. And the players who are able to provide those solutions, obviously at a cheaper cost and with the decent returns on their investment, I think those are the businesses that will grow. And we see a lot of startups now coming in, providing those bouquet services, those niche services that will, keep on coming. But the kind of environment we are in and the industry we are in, I think the biggest disruption I think will happen is for the brokers, that how to make money and stay afloat. Because on one hand, you have costs going up, and on the other hand, you have the incomes going down, either because of the pricing pressure or because of the regulatory pressure. I think that is going to be a bigger disruption.
Interesting. Ashish, your thoughts there?
So, Amy, I'll just slightly touch upon what have been the last two big things that have happened to broking. If you go to the US markets, the discount broker concept has been there since 80s. And हम 2010, 12, 15 में सोचते थे, why are Indian consumers paying 50 basis points? ये 1% क्यों देता है खरीदने के लिए, but देता है. Discount breaking came into India somewhere around 2015, and it came in a huge wave. And that was the biggest disruption to happen to Indian broking market. We would not have opened the kind of 10 crore accounts we are sitting here now had discount brokers not come. Absolutely. And the second was also Aadhar. वो पहले पूरा का पूरा booklet लेके जाओ, sign कराओ, 40 signatures, and all the problem which comes with carrying a booklet. Aadhar made life so easy. You can just sit at home and open an account, and strangely people open accounts at our end, and most, I think you will also corroborate, रात को 2 बजे कोई अकाउंट खोलता है. I don't know क्यों खोलता है, क्या करता है, but रात को 2 बजे भी अकाउंट खुलता है. So life was made easy for these two things. And I'm sitting with 3 discount brokers right now. A young discount brokers, a little aged discount broker, and somewhere in the middle discount broker. We were a full service broker, Kotak, and the only competition to us for a very long period of time was another bank broker. वो क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है? Generally we used to say, यार discount broker तो क्या कर लेगा? But I think the reality is the discount broker is here to stay. Old players like us, I think also legacy tech. Tech था 20 साल पुराना, चलता ही नहीं था. So I think there were a lot of issues which the legacy brokers had. I think, and slightly coming also from where I come from, the number of bank accounts today in India is far crazy a number, and with Jan-Dhan and all, this number is absolutely crazy number. The broking account is only about a small number compared to the bank accounts. I think the next big thing can also come from banks, where you are sitting on a huge plethora of clients, where you can go and cross-sell. Pricing is never a problem. Pricing was never a problem. You could have reduced the pricing at any point of time, and rather, at this point of time, while discount broking is said to be at 20 rupees or 10 rupees or whatever, we run at 0. We don't charge brokerage. So I'm saying, when you run that kind of thing, and all banker brokers moving to discount brokers with great tech, I think that is where this 100 crore accounts or probably a little more, if they could come into broking, I think would be the next big thing.
Great.
Thank you, Amy.
It's been a wonderful discussion. Thank you, panelists. It's been a great discussion. Thank you, audience. Unfortunately, we don't have time left for audience questions, but last decade has been truly transformational for the Indian broking industry, and we can't wait to see what the next decade holds for us. Thank you.